Hi, I'm Steve Rowe. I'm CEO at Oaknoll. I'm recording this video the afternoon of Wednesday, November 27th. It will be uploaded and available to you sometime tonight prior to Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Thanksgiving happens to be my favorite holiday. I love the food associated with it and all the traditions. Within my family, it's like we're actually not doing Thanksgiving tomorrow. Unfortunately, my daughter and my son-in-law are in Iceland this week with friends, and we are going to do it sometime in December. It's really important for me to actually host a Thanksgiving dinner so that we have leftovers. It is my favorite meal, and the leftovers are important. So we'll get there eventually. Tomorrow, April and my brother and I are just headed down to the buffet at Riverside Casino, and we'll do that and then do our real Thanksgiving in December when we can all be together. This is always a busy week for us leading into Thanksgiving. It's like just a lot of people that are in town. So we have a number of prospective resident appointments scheduled for this week. And I'm meeting with 3 different households today even, just as there's a lot of interest about Oaknoll. We continue to get calls nearly every day from people wanting to start the process, set up that initial appointment, do a tour of our community, and we are doing that really by word of mouth and by really sponsorships for Hawkeye Athletics and Hampshire, but you're not seeing us on TV outside of those sponsorship opportunities. So there's just a lot of energy, a lot of interest in what we're doing, and it's like we're seeing lots and lots of people every month, and especially this week being the time that people are together, just a lot of people coming in and wanting to explore Oaknoll. Thank you to everybody as I am doing tours and Retha does tours. Thank you to all of you who stop and say that this is a great place, that they should do it. That is so incredibly helpful just to hear those unsolicited comments. People sometimes think that we have plants around the building, but it's like we don't. It just is people's experience, and I do thank you for sharing your experiences with people when you see that we're doing a tour. Just a few updates. No COVID updates. Like I am not aware of any COVID cases either from residents or staff, so that's a very quick update. The health center census, we were fortunate a couple of weeks ago to get down to 52 spaces occupied. It's been a concern, and it's like kind of an ongoing issue for most of the last year, not quite all of the last year, but it's like for the last several months certainly, where we've been very close to fully occupied in the health center and occasionally needing to care for that next person above our licensure. And there's a way to do that, but it's not the ideal circumstance. We were down to 52 of the 58 spaces occupied probably about a week and a half ago. Today our census is 55 of the 58 spaces. So that is still a comfortable level. We always like to have at least 1 or 2 open spaces for that next person if that need should arise quickly. And hopefully we can get at least a couple of people into the health center, recovered, and back out of the health center again to create more space for all of you. To that end, we are expanding our capacity with the small house project, and I'll provide a quick update there. They have been working for the last couple of weeks now on the geothermal wells, which are basically the backbone of the heating and cooling system for that building. 40 wells dug to about 135 feet deep, and that work should be completing this week, hopefully. And as soon as the equipment to dig wells is out of there, they'll be able to start assembling the building. The framing has been happening actually off-site so that they can assemble things, and when they bring it on site, they can put the walls up relatively quickly. If you were around for Oaknoll East construction, that's essentially the same thing that they did at Oaknoll East. They brought in pieces of the walls and just kind of put the walls together rather than assembling the full walls on site. So it just makes things go a little bit faster on site. They're still telling me that before Christmas they expect to be a fully enclosed building with a rooftop. I don't know how they're going to make that happen in the span of the next 4 weeks, but that's what they're telling me, so we'll go with that. They also continue to tell us that by the end of May, construction should be finished, and we are expecting to be operational in the new space by July, the beginning of our new fiscal year. So that will give us a total of 70 licensed nursing spaces rather than the 58 that we have, and we will all feel a sense of relief when we get to the point where we can open that new building. Thank you to everybody who has contributed toward that project so far. Your response has just been overwhelmingly positive and so incredibly generous. To date, we have received over $615,000 worth of contributions to help us pay for that project. There are also pledges or indications of support for another $185,000. So we just hit the $800,000 mark with a fundraising effort. There is still plenty of opportunity. 9 of the 12 rooms have sponsors for them now, but there's still 3 $50,000 room sponsorship opportunities that will be recognized permanently within that building, and we're always happy to accept any level of contribution, a $10 check, a $100 check, a $1,000 check, whatever you're able to do to help us with that project. And hopefully as you see it rising up out of the ground, you'll know that this is actually happening, and it's like any efforts that you make in helping us pay for that project are incredibly appreciated. So thank you to everyone so far, and if you're considering a gift, please do that, and we will thank you in the future. We do have currently within assisted living, so totally new topic, but assisted living, you may have noticed recently that we've had several deaths from people straight from assisted living, and we have also had several transitions from assisted living onto nursing level of care. The most recent of which was a resident yesterday moved from assisted living into the loft. As of today, we have 8 open assisted living apartments. There are currently 3 transitions of people from independent living into 3 of the assisted living apartments, but that still gives us 5 spaces in assisted living that are available for future transitions. If you are somebody, or you know of somebody who's kind of on the edge with whether they're thinking about assisted living, now is a really good time to kind of continue that exploration. We do have some options available to people because there are 5 open spaces. Sometimes when people need to transition to assisted living, we have 1 space available and this is what you get. But right now we have 5 open spaces, so there's just a little bit more options that could be available to people in terms of view or location on first or second floor, exposure, whether it's I guess it would be an eastern exposure, a western exposure, or a northern exposure. I guess we'd have all four exposures as I think about it. Just if you're at all thinking about that, now is a good time. Contact Sarah Neary, our social worker, or contact me, and we can certainly help to provide information and show you what's available. I want to talk about independent living apartments and how we're doing. We are slightly behind pace from an entrance fee goal for where we should be at this point of the year, but we do have plenty of opportunity. There are 6 open independent living apartments either that are available right now or I know will become available with internal relocations that are in process. If we can find matches for all 6 of those spaces, we will be ahead of our goal. And that is what I am going to be working on through the month of December, is to try to find matches for every single one of those 6 available apartments right now, sign new life care contracts with households, and get ahead of the goal by the end of the year. So I just wanted to give you an update there, how we're doing, and I'm hoping to be showing lots of apartments to people on the wait list right now and finding matches for the spaces that we have. Finally, it's like I just want to let you know, it's like some of you who know me, it's like know that I'm a huge lifelong Minnesota Vikings fan, and before I record the next time, Tony and I are going to go up to Minnesota to watch a Vikings game in person. It's not this coming weekend, but the following weekend, Sunday, December 8th, we will be up in level 3, the upper deck, row 14, which is 5 rows from the top of their stadium. But if you happen to be watching on TV, look for Tony and me, because we will be there cheering for the Vikings. Hopefully they will go from 9-2, which they are right now, to 11-2 by the end of that game, and be well positioned for the playoffs. That is everything I have for you today. Again, I hope you have a very happy Thanksgiving and enjoy time with your family and friends, and we will see you again in 3 weeks. Take care.